All right, and we're recording. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, boys and girls. Welcome back, all genders in between, my cryptocurrency friends and family. I hope you guys are doing all right. I also hope that you watched the video of yesterday describing how these levels were going to influence a bigger swipe to the downside. Um, we did close finally within the yellow box, which is a good sign. But now, of course, comes the next part of the story. And this is what we are going to analyze right now. Because as you can see, we had our three bearish divergences. Over here, as long as this is not confirmed, this is not confirmed to be a local high. But if this turns out to be a local high, then I think we are actually going to enter a little bit of a downtrend, maybe even a little bit more. But yeah, we're going to have to analyze this. So if this is something that you want to see, then I suggest you sit back, grab something to drink, and we're going to dive right in. All right, welcome back. So, what is it that is most important to me? Number one, I would say this area over here. This local low is the first one that I would like to look at. Then the second one, but this is going to be on the higher time frames, is going to be this one. And then finally, of course, on a very higher time frame, it's going to be this one. So this comes with this lines up with this, and that. So like I said, for now we are a little bit under pressure because of three bearish divergences following one after the other, which of course when they come in three, it's not a good sign. So what does it need to break? Well, number one, to keep going to the upside, we would need to see the price go higher and break this high on the RSI. So this is one area that we are going to measure out. And then for this area to be confirmed as a local high, then price would need to break down and close below this area over here. So yeah, again, I made a lot of scribbling on the screen. And we're gonna do just that. We are going to scribble some more and we are going to reanalyze the entire situation and see what is what and what the key areas and ranges are to be respected. So let's dive in with the low ends. Let's just start with the low ends and then we can do the high end. What do you say, guys? So on the low end over here, we got 39.7. So I would round it off to 39.1. 39.1, there we go. And this would give us a level of 57,500. And that would be almost in line with this local low already. So you know what? I'm just going to remove the box. And I'm going to set this at 57,500. Well, it's a little bit of a range. Maybe we want to make it a box anyway. You know, it's got a little bit of a range. It's not a lot, but you know, as little as it is, let's just mark it off the way it is. All right. So if I can zoom this out a little bit. Yep, there we go. All right, cool. Now, for this area over here, this is not going to work with the 1 hour chart. So I'm going to use the 3 hour chart for this one. As you can see, this already has a little bit more range over here. So this is what we want because there's also a little more time in between those areas. So, you know, the 1 hour chart is just going to be a little too short. So on the RSI, we got 47.74. So let's do 47.7. There we go. And yeah, what do you know? Same thing. 57,500. Okay. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. No, not this one. 57,500 and 57,500. There we go. Okay, so what does this mean? What does this mean? Basically, on the short term, on the shorter time frame, we could be breaking below this yellow box. But as long as we don't break below the orange box, things are still basically going to continue in an uptrend. And as you can see on the 3-hour chart, we don't have any bearish divergence just yet. So maybe this would just mean that we are going to see a little bit of a dip, or we already have seen a little bit of a dip, a correction, a little bit of a pullback, and then just straight up continuation to the upside. So this is actually perfectly rational to think. Now let's look at the low end over here. This is sitting at 31.4 on the 5-hour chart. So we're gonna look at this from this point of view. And what does this give us? 52,700, almost 800. So 52,000, let's call it 775. Yeah, beautiful. So 775, there we go. Awesome, cool, beautiful. So yeah, we still have quite some ranges that can work as potential support. Inside this orange box, we have the biggest volume node sitting right in the middle. So I think this is a nice potential candidate for support. And if we extend this trend line, then as you can see, we already touched a little bit on the trend line. Maybe a retest could happen. But now let's imagine if price would just rally up and keep going up, what would we need to confirm a continuation of this pattern? So let's first go to the 1-hour chart. And let's measure off this high end over here. Let's see what this shows us. We got 69.5. So 69.5, there we go. And this would be sitting at 60,275. So that's actually not so far away, right? Cool, beautiful. So yeah, this is more or less it for the short term. Potentially a little bit more of a touch down below, but as you can see, both boxes completely line up one after the other. So this is actually rather good. Now on the upside, I'm going to make this green because it's the upside. It's the range for the bulls. Let's just make it green and very optimistic like this. And yeah, I think this is more or less it. Now we're gonna double check this with our Fibonacci tool. This is actually a very easy chart to analyze, right? It's just an uptrend. So let's see on the downside what happened. We had our support over here on the 236 of the Fibonacci, also on that big volume node over here, touching down a little bit further on the lower volume node. So potentially this could be strong and this could keep going. But on the other hand, breaking further down, In the red box, the 786 is actually sitting smack inside that gap of the red box. Well, actually, just on top of that volume node, if we look at it from this point of view. So yeah, cool. This is actually rather beautiful. Now let's look at Fibonacci from the other direction. Let's do it like this. And what do we see? Actually, we are super close to the prior high. So basically already breaking this prior high would be really good. Breaking the green box would be even better. And what do we project then? Then obviously we're going over to the next level, and this would be sitting somewhere over here at the 66,000 area. And again, the next area above that would be 75,600. Of course, depending on your exchanges. And like I keep repeating, guys, you need to do your analysis on your own for yourself. Always redo them, because as time passes by, these things do change. It's not always going to be the same picture that you are seeing. Now, the 1 hour chart, like I said, is not looking all too healthy. There is this little smudge. No, it's not a bullish divergence just yet. Over here, this is not the local low. This is the local low over here. So yeah, potentially, I do believe that it is possible that we are going to dip down a little bit lower first. So let's see if we do break this area over here, which is the crucial part. And then let's go from there. So on the low end, I would say 57,500 is the area that you don't want to see get broken. Hey, time travel, my buddy, how are you doing? No worries. So I was actually doing the recap. So yeah, for the downside, so like I was saying, we do have these three sequences of bearish divergence. On the higher time frames, we do not have those. What we do have is a little bit of a potential bearish divergence with this area over here, and actually it lines up perfectly still with the upper resistance area. So this is looking rather good. It's an easy area to break. So for continuation to the upside, what we want to see is actually price break above the green box over here. Once this thing is broken, then I'm pretty sure that, you know, you can long all day long. It's I think this would just signal nice continuation. We do have a lot of volume defending the downside. So even after closing above this green box, trending down a little bit would just be an opportunity to enter in a little bit more of a long. Now on the downside, coming down, we do see actually that this area on the 1 hour chart has broken all those levels already. From here to here, we do have a bullish divergence, so potential bullish divergence that could easily be negated by seeing the RSI dip below this. And that would be your yellow box zone over here, coming down to 57,500. So breaking below 57,500 on the 1 hour chart, I would expect price to come even lower, potentially retesting one of the lower EMA areas, EMA lines. But as you can see, there is a larger volume node sitting here in the middle of the orange box. So over here at about $56,000, I think we could also be expecting some nice support. And if that support holds, that means that that just means that we are going to see a little bit of a bounce, some resistance, and then just continuation to the upside. So both areas are still really, really good. What you don't want to see is actually price dip below this area over here, because breaking 54,800, this would be bad news, especially for this entire structure. And then the next area to find support would be over here at 52,700 down to almost 51,000. But zooming out, you see again that there is a nice area of volume, a cushion that could be picking up the price. So all in all, I don't think it would be game over just yet, but trickling down those boxes, I would, every time one of those areas breaks, I would expect at least price to come down to the next area. If this one breaks, then it's the next area, the red box, potentially really even touching the bottom of the red box just because of the small volume that is sitting at the top. I think it might break the fall a little bit, but still potentially just serve as support. Of course, once we break below 51,000, this is where the real trouble begins, because then we have on this smaller picture a series of lower highs and lower lows, and then the question is, how far is this going to continue? Because from here we still have higher highs, higher lows, not a higher high anymore, and then if it breaks below, not a higher low anymore as well. And that could be our confirmation that actually the next push to the upside would also be a lower high. Okay, so I think this is more or less it for the Bitcoin chart. Actually, very easy analysis. The signs are very clear, and more levels need to get broken before we really turn completely bearish, or at least temporarily bearish. And on the upside, we're very close to breaking out and just breaking above 60,275. I think this would already clear it, and we could expect some more continuation. Now, let's look at the dominance chart, because the dominance chart, yeah, like I said yesterday, it looks like it's just swooping out, like coming in for a nice and soft landing on this support line. But now is the question is it going to hold or break? Let's see. I'm not really that that comfortable reading the dominance, or like charting the dominance chart, because I'm not even sure if the theory for the RSI and the divergences work on that that type of chart. So all you can see right now is the behavior. You can see lower highs, lower lows. Here, same thing, lower highs, lower lows. And right here, just some sideways action landing on the support line. And sadly enough, there is a lot of volume sitting on top. So potentially, if we look at the altcoin market, we can see that a few altcoins are doing extremely well, and then some others are just, bleeding out very slowly, which doesn't make a lot of sense when you come to think about it, because when the dominance chart goes down, then usually it does mean that the altcoin market is going to be booming, but it is not. So yeah, what is up? What is up? Let's look at the dollar strength, the Dixie. And yeah, the Dixie is, like I said, pulled back. Yes, yesterday, like I said yesterday, a little bit of a correction, but nothing to be fearful of, because yeah, already a nice bullish divergence is setting up. It's not confirmed yet, as long as the Dixie doesn't break, let's say, 93,250. So let's just let's do it like this. But all in all, I think this is just looking really good. If there is one chart that I would like to bet on, then it's actually the dollar chart. How crazy is that to say? And now let's look at traditional markets. Traditional markets also have been doing their best. They've been doing their very best. Over here, like I said yesterday, potential bullish divergence. Obviously, it is playing out, and now is the question, is this going to break above the red line and close above the red line? Let's look back at the dollar. Yeah, it's yeah, it's gonna be a tight one. I think the dollar could be coming down a little bit more, but maybe we're gonna see more on traditional markets when we zoom out. And yeah, zooming out on the 3-hour chart, you see that actually the RSI is still not ready to cross the high on the 5-hour chart. 5-hour chart looks healthy. How crazy is that? So the 3-hour chart looks like crap, and the 5-hour chart looks good. And the 10-hour chart, same thing, actually looking good. So maybe there's something I'm missing on the dollar. And yeah, what do you know, on the 10-hour chart, this is a potential bearish divergence. So yeah, that shows that actually you need to compare different timelines and look at different timelines, because otherwise you might just be too focused on the short term, especially on those traditional markets that are moving a lot slower. Usually the short term doesn't really get it. It's more the higher term that is able to really make the picture more clear. So yeah, potentially this is a bearish divergence. Let's see what it needs to break. So 80,000, 80.4. Have a look, 80.4, and that would be 94 on the RSI. So let's grab this. Let's do just like that. There we go. And this is the area that needs to get broken on the 10-hour chart. So a closure above 94 on a 10-hour chart to allow for continuation. So yeah, beautiful. Let's look back at the Bitcoin chart, and here on the 10-hour chart, same thing. This is the 10-hour chart is not looking really good. If I need to make a decision on a 10-hour chart, the 10-hour chart, I would think I would be leaning a lot more towards more downside, more downtrend, but it's not being confirmed yet. It will be confirmed as soon as the price and the RSI break those levels over here. So yeah, again, $55,000 more or less. And what did I say on the 1-hour chart? Yeah, more or less 55,000. So yeah, there you go. Things do line up, and I think this is going to be your indicator. So 54,800, 55,000, closing below this local low here that's been set at 18 o'clock on March 28th. This is the local low that needs to get broken. If this one breaks, I do believe that we are in for a cheaper Bitcoin price. So yeah, for some people, this might also be a good thing, being able to get back in at lower prices. I think a lot of people have been wishing for that as well. So yeah, beware what you wish for, especially if you've been wishing this and now you are long and you're entering a shitstorm. So yeah, long story short, I wish you guys all the very best of luck. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to zoom out the chart and give you guys a little bit of time to take a snapshot or to write down the levels if you want to. And then remember, guys, hit those like buttons, please hit the subscribe buttons and the bell notifications. There's only yeah, time travel. I'm pretty sure you would also love to see some cheaper prices. Honestly, like we said yesterday, I'm completely out. I only have like a very, very tiny portion left in my trading portfolio because I just enjoy trading. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, for me, it would be very well appreciated as well, seeing prices come down a little bit more. But yeah, I also would be very happy for the bulls to have a little more time in the sun. Basically, it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, we're day traders, and it doesn't matter. The price goes up, price goes down, it flies in circles. As long as it's moving, we will be able to make money off of it. And that's the point of day trading, not being all tied up into one position and then just praying to the gods of the bulls or the bears that they go your way, doing your offerings and stuff and ceremonies and chants and stuff. That's not trading. This is not a good way or a healthy way to try and make money. So yeah, I hope you guys are going to be able to make some nice profits. Take it slowly. Don't rush into it. I think on this area over here, the easier game would be to try and short the top and then set a stop loss and maybe right above this a conditional long position. So that at least if this goes down, you're in the market to short, and if it goes up, at least you have a stop loss. And then if it breaks out, you're in a long again, and then you just ride the upside, just okay with a little bit of a loss, but that's not the end of the world. Come on, like you can't be greedy in these types of professions. Okay, remember that. So yeah, I think this is it. I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I hope you guys are going to do great on this next move. I wish you guys the best of the best, and I thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Time Travel, for joining me on this live stream. And remember, I will be posting the video as soon as possible, so that if you missed it or you want to repeat or re-see the rest of the video, then just dial into YouTube and you'll find it. All right, so thank you very much, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. UTC. Try to be there for the live chat. It's always a lot more fun if I have some people to talk to. It motivates me a lot more. And on the other hand, if you don't have time, don't feel sorry about it. Don't worry. I'm not angry, not far from it. I wish you guys the best of the best, and I will see you tomorrow.